Show. I've queued up my favourite questions from the quixotic quagmire of Series Q. After all, it's about quality, not quantity. How good are you at multitasking?
Excellent.
Excellent. OK. Here we go.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be tested on.
Just volunteered yourself, OK? So I want you to take this stack from here and recreate it exactly the same on this one, and you can have to move them one at a time, OK?
Oh, right.
But while you're doing it, I want you to recite the alphabet backwards.
Ooh.
Well, I can't do that anyway. I mean, I don't think I can do it forwards, like. A, B...
No, so you don't understand how the game functions.
We're going to find out that Andrew's a toddler. Just took him off and put them on the counter.
A, B, C...
Not backwards, though, is it?
I can't do it backwards.
You moved it backwards.
And put them on the middle one.
OK.
Listen to me. Here we go again.
Z, Y...
Keep them on the post.
Backwards.
X...
Move them one at a time.
No, middle one.
What's wrong with this?
No, don't help him. I love this, because as I said...
Z, Y, X, W... V... U...
OK, get the hell.
Don't pretend you could do this.
So why did you say that you are good at multitasking?
I'm a man and I like to brag.
I had a moment on a flight last week, actually, when I was flying from Aberdeen to Shetland, and I was with my tour manager, who's also a big chap, and we sit next to each other because we're pals, and there was hardly anyone else on the flight. It was only a small plane. And the stewardess came over, and she said, Mr. Manford, Mr. Isaac, she said, would you mind separating and sitting on either side of the plane?
Oh, no. Weight distribution.
Weight distribution?
They're as heavy as a wing.
So he's going to land like this if it's...
Well, that's what you should have done. We will at the start.
Yeah.
But during the flight, we're going to set you a series of challenges. Zigzagging about the plane.
First time in the history of the world where turbulence is a person.
Yeah.
When you're a doctor, you only have to know how one, organism works. But when you're a vet,
yes,
people come in with, oh, my stick insect's got eczema. And then someone else is like, this horse is going to explode!
It's gonna blow. It's ticking.
That's the ultimate Trojan horse.
I think animals are like cars. They all work the same way, really.
We've spent a fortune on my cat. I've spent over £1,000 in the last 2 years on my cat.
£1,000?
Trying to make it into a dog.
So, what's wrong with the bloody thing, apart from it's a cat?
They're hard to come by, cats, aren't they, after all?
You know those bits of elastic that keep chicken legs together like that? It swallowed one of those and it went all through its system, tied up tied it all up. Anyway, she died, so that's fine.
Oh my God.
Well, I wasn't going to pay £1,000. Come on.
Up until 1826, the Palace of Westminster kept all its financial records on something called tally sticks. So you had a stick and you split it in two when you issued a debt, and when the payment was made, the two sticks were tied back together again. Wow. But eventually, of course, paper records superseded the need for these, and now they'd got a lot of old wood, so they decided to get rid of it. The obvious idea was to burn it. So on the 16th of October, 1834, the clerk of the works, who's in various records called Mr. Wibbly or Mr. Woobley, he ordered 2 cartloads of these tally sticks to be burnt.
Mr. Wibbly Wobbly?
Mr. Wobbly Wobbly, yes.
Mr. Wibbly Wobbly, get rid of the sticks. Get rid of them, Mr. Wibbly Wobbly.
Rid of the sticks you want?
So Mr. Wibbly Wobbly decided to burn 2 cartloads of these tally sticks in the basement staves at the Palace of Westminster, and the resulting fire burnt down both the House of Lords and the House of Commons.
What an idiot, Mr. Wibbly Wobbly.
Didn't feel good about it.
You should have known.
Yeah.
What have I done?
Who did you entrust this job to? Now, don't get angry. It better not have been Mr. Wibbly Wobbly.
So here's a nice thing, apart from the toad sausages. One of the ways they're thinking now of saving the quoll is to turn them into pets. There are people who say that you should have them instead of a cat, and in fact, they're rather sweet. They can be trained. They can use a litter tray. They weigh about the same.
Yes, sweet, really sweet.
Joey,
If you got your foot sticking out from under the duvet and that gets hold of you.
They do have the 2nd biggest bite force quotient. So how hard they can bite relative to the size of any animal.
Good for children, then.
Yeah. 2nd only to the Tasmanian devil.
What's the one on the right doing to the one on the right?
I believe that's the beginning of improv.
The one on the left's not keen on it. Second left's going, look at him, look at him! Look at him or I will torch you!
Anyway, there used to be a thing called the Group of 60, and they were Athenian wits who got together and exchanged jokes. And so one of the ways you would tell a joke in Athens, you would say, the 60 said, and so on. But the very first joke book that Europe ever had was published by, anybody have a guess? We are talking in the mid-1400s.
Ladybird.
Well, the Vatican published it. It was utterly obscene. They had a sort of joke club called the Bugiali. It was literally a fib factory. There was a papal secretary called Poggio Bracciolini, and he kept a record of all these jokes. And he published it, 273 puns and jokes, mostly the usual stuff, farts, erections, obesity...
Rubbish at reading, isn't he? Look at him.
Yeah.
Excuse me, is that Athena? The frame of my picture has fallen on my head.
For what sort of business would you want to use a queer plunger?
I once had a nightmare with a plunger. So we had a New Year's Eve party, and then the next day our toilet was blocked. And I thought, I'll nail this. I'd never used a plunger before.
Right.
difficult to use.
Yeah, I thought I'd just whack it down there. Whacked it down, and it suctioned just onto the bottom of the toilet. Brought it up. All I had was the piece of stick. And now I didn't just have to unblock the toilet, I had to get my hand in there to get the...
What can't I hear you do in space?
Screaming sound.
So you can hear screaming then?
Well, it's a vacuum, right? Sound can't reverberate.
But there are conditions where you could hear a scream, and that is what I'm going to come to.
Yes, I know, but
she got you there.
No, she has not got me there, because the question as it was presented by my learned friend was, what can you hear in space? Answer scream, and I said, because space is completely silent, which he said, and I went, did I just talk to myself?
No.
Because I thought I just said
Because
that.
I did not say...
Oh, God, I wish I was in space!
I did not say what you might be wearing.
Oh, well, for the love of God, Sandy. This is like
and this picture was a clue. So, sound is caused by the vibration of molecules, and if you didn't have a spacesuit on, it would be almost impossible to hear anything at all. However, astronauts can talk to each other by touching helmets. So... So the sound vibrations, they travel through the air inside the spacesuits and inside the glass, enough for them to be able to communicate with raised voices. And in fact, NASA teach this to the astronauts as a sort of backup in case radio communication fails.
Sure.
So we're going to try it. You've both
why you
got...
don't get any lesbians in space?
You've both got helmets. Pop them on.
It smells really bad.
Right.
They're enormous, much bigger than mine.
Try and...
It's much bigger, but mine looks exactly like Caesar.
Stand up and touch helmets and see if you can, if it helps you to hear. Now talk to each other.
Hello.
I've always loved you. I just like...
Does it make a difference?
Hello. Hello. Not really, Sandy, I'll be honest.
We can't hear you.
Can I take it off now?
No. Yeah, no, go ahead. Could you feel the vibrations through the helmet?
I don't think I could really hear, but I don't really understand her at the best of times, so...
No, that is fair enough. Would you like to meet Vomiting Larry?
No.
What, have you got a thing about
I've
vomit?
just closed my eyes. You continue.
No, we're not actually going to show vomit. We're just going to talk about it a lot.
Oh, I thought somebody called Larry was just going to come.
It's going to be a volcano or some kind of weird beetle or something.
It's not a volcano. It is a humanoid simulated vomiting system developed by UK's Health and Safety Laboratory in Derbyshire by researcher Dr. Kat Mackeson-Booth. And there is Kat, and there is Vomiting Larry. Right
Hello.
there.
Sorry.
Kat, I believe that Larry can vomit on command.
He can.
Why would you invent such a thing?
So we're looking at infection transmission, so we want to identify how far vomit spreads so that we can help clear it all back up again and prevent transmission of fluid.
Presumably, I'm going to guess it's further than we think the little pool of vomit...
Yeah, it'd kind of fill with all the droplets and splash most of this bit of the studio.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to see it, so when you come to clean up the main bulk, you'd stand in it, spread it everywhere.
So you're just carrying on, even when you think you've cleaned it all up?
Yeah.
Why is he called Larry?
Because the head of the system's called Airway Larry. So it's for when medical students are practising laryngoscopies.
Yeah,
so I think that's where the Larry is.
Do the medical students not provide enough vomit? I mean...
But they can't do it on command, so, you know.
It needs to be 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
Like that. OK, so now, we can't have Larry actually vomit, you'll be very pleased to know. However...
Come on, Lawrence.
We do have a film of Larry. We're going to have the film without sound, but if any of you lovely people would like to join in and create the sounds that you imagine Larry might make, then help yourselves. Here.
Why, of course.
Yeah, let's have it.
You only had to ask one.
Here we go.
I'm dying. It's coming out of my arse as well. You know when you're being... and you can't turn around quick enough because you know it's going to... Oh, no. Oh, God. Flush me.
Yes, I'm so sorry, darling. Here's another interesting fashion for royals. Louis XIV, he had a fashion that a courtier should have one long fingernail. Why was that?
My husband's got one special toenail for scratching his eczema. It's awful, isn't it? Is that the sort of thing you're after?
I feel in this show you and I are in danger of oversharing.
And you seem to be fine with that, though. That's...
Yeah, as long as he keeps it to himself, I'm all right.
Right.
Yeah.
He hasn't really, has he, now?
No.
He's only told me quite recently, and we've been together for nearly 15 years. So there's nothing I can do about it now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with it.
Except maybe pay more attention in the future. So the one long fingernail, what do we reckon?
Is that a cane that he's leaning on, or is that the fingernail?
No, he didn't have the fingernail, so it was the courtiers who had
Everyone else had to have the fingernail.
Yes.
Is it to do with his anus? Let me just get that out of my head.
What's it doing in your head?
Just imagining a...
Your takeaway from this show.
Yeah.
Pulsating termite and a fingernail up Louis XIV's arse. Now.
So in this reality, he said, I want any of you to be ready.
Yeah.
There's no telling who I'm going to ask to stick their fingernail up my anus. So I want you all to grow it. I don't want it to be a specialism. I want to say, you, now.
Why might you put a mirror next to a lift? Any thoughts about this? We're talking about waiting.
Next to a lift or in a lift?
No, next to it. It's to do with you looking at yourself. People dislike waiting in line, but they do like looking at themselves. People don't complain if the lift takes a long time to arrive, if they can constantly see themselves. I love this picture, though, so we had an experiment to see if we could recreate this with all of you. So let's have a look. Are we able to do that? There. What do you think? I know!
Oh, it's Top of the Pops from the 70s.
I love it.
It's like a giant centipede.
That's brilliant.
That's really good fun.
Wow! Can we do like the swimming thing where we go...
This is beginning to look like a Bollywood movie.
Have you heard about the carrot swindle? Do you know about the carrot swindle?
I know about the carrot swindle.
When you go to your self-serve checkout, everything you put on for whey, you just press carrots.
Really?
Yeah.
What, so you'd be like buying an anvil and you'd press carrot?
Yeah, so you put down, what's an expensive vegetable?
Prosecco.
So you paying everything for his carrots?
I'm not doing it, Josh. I'm a very honest customer.
Where did you learn this?
From a reindeer.
No, it's because what they found, the supermarkets, the reason they started to become suspicious was because they were selling millions of tons of carrot and thousands and thousands of bottles of Prosecco were being stolen. Wow. So they started to watch people, and sure enough, people just putting all their washing on the thing, pressing carrots and putting it in.
All their washing?
People were putting all their shopping on the thing, pressing carrots, and they've got 6 bags, they paid 12 quid.
Theft from self-service tills has doubled in the last 4 years. So you should not put this information out.
I'm doing it for Sainsbury's.
Yeah. Yes.
But Alan, when you put your washing on, what should you press?
So you've each got a quilt and a cover.
Right.
Oh.
So we're going to have a very quick competition.
Couldn't be easier.
To see who can be quickest.
Hang on, I haven't undone the bow yet. I haven't got my key.
Get your quilt out. We're going to do it all at the same time.
Wait.
OK.
OK.
Is everybody...
I can't find the opening, Sandy.
Hang on, can we open it? Where do we start?
Can't find my thing.
OK, ready? 1, 2, 3,
No,
go!
I'm not ready, I'm not ready. I'm nowhere near ready. Oh, my God!
Mine's buttoned up. Yours didn't have buttons on it. Mine's buttoned up. That's not fair.
Jimmy!
Yes.
He has staff to do it for him.
Are you all right? Mind your hair.
What happened? I did, yeah. I mean...
Jimmy,
Wow. I think I'm not the only one who's amazed it stayed on.
Let's talk about different kind of cues. So when you are on the phone...
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst thing about that, do you reckon?
It's when the computer doesn't get your accent. I get that a lot.
I used to ring the Odeon film line.
I used to work for them, be careful.
The Odeon film line to find out... This is going back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the job I had.
Find out the times of the films.
This is even before DVDs.
Yes, before DVDs. So which Odeon cinema are you interested in?
Yeah.
And I would say, Holloway.
Yeah.
And it would say, did you say Manchester? Every time!
That's exactly it.
No similarity between the two words. There's almost no letters at the same.
Actually, that was just one of us. Bolton, did you say Baghdad?
Ancient Greek kylix. So this is a wonderful thing. It's a shallow drinking cup for wine. It's similar to one of these cups, but it had obscene pictures painted on the inside, which were gradually revealed. We've censored this because, you know, they would have things like a couple having sex, a man wiping his bottom, naked people, and then an eye cup. So it's a wide mug with eyes and sometimes a nose painted on the outside. It looked like you were wearing a mask when you drank it. And sometimes they painted ships on the inside, so it looked like the ships were sailing on the wine as you drank it. I think we should have more fun with cups.
How great that you're drinking, you're getting pissed, and at the bottom of the cup is something that you're probably going to do. You know,
like an instruction manual?
Yes, like, you know what, this is where this is heading. Oh, I feel like that just kind of cuts to
I would
the chase.
be really annoyed, though, if I got to the end of my cup and I was like, so what, now I have to learn the flute as well?
OK, so I just want to see what kind of audience we have in tonight. Who would like us to remove the pixels? Put your hands up. Who's quite happy with it being censored? Like, listen. Oh, my.
No one at all.
All right, let's
The
remove
best
the
audience.
pixels and see what's behind.
It's going to be a flute.
Literally nothing. Genuine disappointment.
What a tease.
Especially for him.
Our queuing advice is to really rile people up by ignoring the instructions at an airport and standing on the left of an underground escalator. That's really upset you.
No. That's the
You know,
only
that's
thing I care about after Brexit.
Yeah.
Well, that's only down here that's a problem.
That is London.
It's
London.
only London. It's not even it's not even questioned anywhere else. Stand wherever you want.
You stand wherever you want?
Yeah, it's not a thing. Do what you want. Just a thing down here.
Stand on the right.
Not in anywhere else.
Fucking stand on the right.
What's your normal temperature?
Isn't it lower if you're a woman than a man?
Slightly higher for a woman.
Slightly higher?
Yeah, it was one or the other, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Just go either way with that.
Because, you know, there's that stereotype of, like, turn up the heating, but I'm too hot, babes.
It is an issue that office temperatures are set to male averages as opposed to female averages.
Do you know a fact about Christine Lagarde, who's the head
I don't know
of the
any
IMF?
facts about Christine Lagarde.
Oh, well, you're about to bloody get one, Sandy. Let's swap chairs. Can I have your glasses for a second?
Do you want some cards?
Yeah,
Oh, no, that's got all the answers on there, haven't they?
Of course, the interesting about Christine Lagarde that she used to do was that she... please stop laughing, darling. I'm trying to get to the fact.
What's the most dangerous thing to do in bed?
Tell the truth.
Anybody else?
Reverse cowgirl? They had that locked and loaded?
There was some suggestion you might say that, darling. Is it a particular favourite? Yeah, how did they know?
Am I the only person who noticed that you said DVD?
I did say DVD, yeah.
Who uses DVDs?
Whoa, what? Whoa.
What are you...
Unbelievable.
Everyone just glanced over that like that wasn't a crazy thing to say. Like,
Still you.
DVD.
I'm still on VHS, though.
Yeah. I played the cassette only yesterday, and you know what happened? It got stuck.
Of course. Do you remember when cassettes used to stretch if you played them for too long?
You get a little pencil inside.
What up?
Oh, it's good
days.
time.
Well, they get stuck. You'd be driving, and you'd pop one out while you're driving, and then the tape... It's my best tape! Don't pull it! I can't pull over, it's the M4! Get out! Get out with a pencil! Get out! Now wind it on! You know, come on, you're 4 years old, you can do this!
Anybody have a mnemonic to remember the planets in order?
Yes. It's Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune.
Thank you, darling, that's perfect. That is the order, and...
Pluto doesn't count. It's actually a Disney character.
Yes, that's right. That is the order of the planets, and one is often taught it at school. So many volcanoes emit mulberry jam sandwiches under normal pressure, or my very easy method just speeds up naming planets, so there were...
I couldn't get past vagina, though. I've got moist vagina expected, might just steam up 90.
So weirdly, that's probably the one I'm going to remember. Anybody else? Alice, you've got one?
Mine's quite depressing.
OK.
Mum's vacant expression means Jane sulks unless noticed.
Wow, you were a jolly girl at school. My favourite is Mary's virgin explanation made Joseph suspect upstairs neighbour. Right, Alan and Aisling, I've got an EastEnders-style script for you. I'm actually going to take a small part in this myself.
Oh.
I know. So, you know, big gestures, big pausing. Here we go.
OK.
Oh, Aisling, I'm having some real barney rubber with me old trouble and strife. She found... a pair of your Anna Wickers in my Lucy locket.
Oh, Alan. You absolute donor. You need to be more careful.
Now, what's this all about?
Stay out of this!
You cow!
You kiss, you.
Stop!
This cow. You're not my mum.
Actually... she is.
And that's all from QI tonight. I leave you with a quip from French poet Joseph Roux. A fine quotation is a diamond on the finger of a man of wit and a pebble in the hand of a fool. Good night.